Chioma, the warrior of freedom. Chioma's courage. In the heart of Igbo land, nestled amidst lush forests and rolling hills, lay the village of Umuok. The village was renowned for its vibrant culture, flourishing yam festivals, and age-old traditions. But behind the veil of its splendor loomed a shadow cast by the ominous presence of the white slave traders who had infiltrated the region. Their ships, monstrous and unfamiliar, docked along the riverbanks, bringing with them chains and despair. For years, the villagers had lived under the yoke of fear. The white men, with the help of local collaborators, raided villages, capturing men, women, and children to be sold into slavery. Families were torn apart, and the once joyous songs of the land were replaced by cries of anguish. Among those left to mourn was Chioma, a fiery young woman known for her sharp mind and unyielding spirit. Chioma's family had not been spared. Her brother, Obinna, a skilled hunter, was taken one fateful night during a raid. The pain of his absence was a wound that refused to heal. But Chioma was not one to be subdued by sorrow. She channeled her grief into a burning resolve to end the suffering inflicted upon her people. One evening, under the glow of a full moon, the village elders gathered in the Obi central meeting house to discuss their plight. Fear clouded their judgment, and despair seeped into their words. "We cannot fight them," said Isnwosu, the oldest among them. "Their weapons are too powerful, and their allies too many." Chioma, who had been listening from the shadows, could hold her silence no longer. She stepped into the circle, her head held high and her voice steady. "Are we not the children of warriors? Have our ancestors ever bowed to fear? If we do not fight, we will lose everything: our freedom, our families, our very identity." Her words struck a chord with the younger members of the community. They had grown weary of living in fear and were inspired by Chioma's courage. She proposed a bold plan: to unite the neighboring villages and launch a coordinated resistance against the slavers and their local allies. For weeks, Chioma traveled from village to village, rallying leaders and warriors. Her passion was infectious, and her vision of a land free from the chains of slavery ignited a flame in the hearts of all who heard her. With each village she visited, her army grew stronger. The decisive battle took place on the banks of the Great Oji River, where the slave traders had set up a temporary camp. Chioma, armed with nothing but a spear and her indomitable spirit, led the charge. The warriors, inspired by her bravery, fought with unmatched ferocity. The local collaborators, realizing the tide had turned, abandoned the slavers, leaving them outnumbered and outmaneuvered. By dawn, the battlefield was silent. The slave traders' camp was in ruins, and the survivors fled, never to return. Chioma had triumphed, but she did not revel in victory. Instead, she focused on rebuilding her village and healing the wounds inflicted by years of oppression. Under Chioma's leadership, Umuok and the neighboring villages forged a new alliance based on mutual respect and unity. They established a council to mediate disputes and ensure that no one would ever again fall victim to the greed of foreign invaders. The village became a beacon of hope, its people living in harmony and prosperity. And at the heart of it all was Chioma, the woman whose courage and strength had turned the tide of history. Her name became a legend, whispered with reverence by generations to come, a testament to the power of resilience and the unyielding spirit of a united people.